Yeah, what's going on, everybody? We are back with another episode of From My Experience podcast. Oh, yeah, I'm starting the theme music early. This is a special episode. I'm super happy and super excited, and you'll find out why in a second. And we're recording a little early, so there's no front page news today or anything. So whatever happens this coming week or whatever happened during the week, I don't know about it yet because I'm recording super early. Don't judge me, but this was a grand opportunity I had to take care of, and you'll find out why in a second. I'm excited! All right, ladies and gentlemen. We have someone that is rejoining us because life has been chopping them in the throat. I love her dearly. She has been a huge asset to the podcast ever since she has graced us with her presence. And I have her back. Ericca's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great day, even though I don't know when you guys are going to actually listen to the episode. But yeah.
They're listening at the right time, in the right moment. That's all we just going to trust and believe in that.
Exactly. Listen to it on your way to work, while you're sitting on 95 in traffic. Just listen.
95, 26, 85, all of those, y'all, for reals. Yo, so I'm just going to bother Ericca today, y'all. This is going to be about a young woman learning the lessons of adulting. And I can't wait to hear it because, I was your age. What are you, 20? Wait, don't tell me. You're 23.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I don't even remember what I was doing. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, I was adulting too, but it was very different. Your adulting is very different to mine. It's much more expensive. I know that for sure.
It's very expensive.
So, after graduation, what has life been like for you? Like, after you graduated, you hit that summer, then what?
Man. Okay, so I graduated. I moved home for about like a month and a half, and I said, I'm ready to be on my own, mama. Moved out. I moved out. I was like 10 minutes away from home in my own apartment because I was like, I live by myself. I can do this. And I was just cruising. I started my job down in the city. Got a government job, a real hardworking one.
Mm-hmm.
Hardly working. So I started taking the bus. I was doing my little thing, go over to the bus stop with my little suitcase. Like, all right, time for me to go to the city. Go down to the city and working and everything, come back home. And I set it up where the bus stop is like not even that far away from my parents' house. So I would just stop in every day and be like, hey, how y'all doing? How y'all living? Who's cooking dinner tonight? Let's just get a plate.
Classic adulting. Who's cooking dinner? Because I'm not.
Yeah, I moved out.
Yeah.
I was not cooking. I moved out to be at my parents' house every day. Because one thing about me, I was going to take a plate home. I was like, hey, you guys want to see me? I want to see you. How was your day? Really? Oh, okay. So, they had to kick me out at like 8 o'clock every night. I was like, you got to go home. And I was like, try it. Right. You're right. I was like, but can I get like a little plate to go for lunch? So, was doing that for the entire time that I moved in my apartment. It was just me and my cat. And we were just rocking and rolling. And then I got a letter in the mail. And they were just like, hey, you want to renew your lease? We're going to up it to like $2,100.
What was it before?
And utilities not included. It was like 16. And
whoa!
I was like, oh.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You went from what to what?
went from 16 as the base pay, utilities not included, mind you. And then they jumped it and they said, yeah, you want to do a little 2100 for us and then do your utilities. I was like, oh, I was like, so you just don't want me here because
Yeah.
who's paying for that to live not even in the city? I said, why? I was like, I don't even have a balcony.
Yo.
So for a 1 bedroom, mind you.
This is Northern Virginia, by the way, y'all. And I'm thinking about that. That's when I was teaching there, because what was I making? Yeah, I couldn't even cover that with a whole paycheck. That would have been like
Exactly.
a paycheck and then like a fourth of my next check. That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
And that's just the
And
rent.
I was just like, how? And also, I did buy myself a car
Woo-hoo.
in April of last year. I know I was like, yay. I got my car. I did all the paperwork. I was real serious, real adult about it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let's be practical. I got my car. I was like, perfect. I'm gonna name you Burgundy, even though you're a black car, because all my cars need to have a name. Yeah, yeah. So love her dearly. Had her for almost over a year. Well, yeah, I had her for a year. Got her in April. It's like August. So I've had her for a year and some change. She's only ever had one car washed in her life, but
Come,
it's okay.
it's not okay. What does the inside of your
It's
car look
okay.
like, though?
Um,
Don't be a
so
don't be a typical woman.
listen.
Just the
I
yo, I don't know what it is about women, but the inside of y'all cars, y'all don't even like on first dates. Y'all can just say, "Look at my car," and brothers, you'll know everything you need to know about her. You'll see some
it's
work.
funny.
Well, go ahead.
It's funny that you say that because a couple of months ago, I was driving to my friend's place because we were going out. It was like that Halloween weekend or whatever. I stopped at McDonald's. I was on my way. I was like, yeah, this is about to be a 40-minute drive. I made a turn as I was eating a chicken nugget. And then by the time I finished the turn, I was like, where'd the chicken nugget go? And for the longest, I was like, I really ate that whole chicken nugget. I found it under my seat like a month later, half eaten, just under the seat. When I turned, it came out my hand. So yeah, I have not looked inside my car. I ignore it.
Why do we treat our
Ignore
cars
it.
like that? My car actually, I typically need to vacuum mine, but I don't keep a lot of junk and clutter in my car. But I'm guilty of having French fries like on the sides where you can't get your hand in
Yeah.
there, like it'll scratch your knuckles. I'll find some French fries in there, but not like, not a nugget.
I found a whole chicken nugget. I was like, oh. And the thing is, I was looking under my seat because my phone had dropped under my seat. And I was like, okay, well, when I park, I'll just find it. And then I was like, a chicken nugget from October?
Oh my
It's
God.
Thanksgiving.
Wow.
So, but my car is pretty much clean. The trunk, we're not going to talk about the trunk. Just know that I'm prepared for anything to happen. Zombie apocalypse,
Oh
I
my
got you.
God. You got
Um,
jumper cables?
nope. Uh,
I, anything, I'm prepared. Do you have jumper cables in case your battery dies? No. The thing you actually
I
need. You do have a spare
I have
tire, don't you?
yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a spare tire.
You need
And
you should no check because I thought I did and I bought my car brand new in 2015 like almost like one level below top of the model and years later I got a flat somewhere and I opened it and there's just an air pump in there with no tire. Oh shoot, I still need to buy a tire.
oh,
Yeah, my car did not come with a spare tire and I was like, when did y'all start doing that? Yeah, you might want to
yeah.
check.
So yeah, I'm gonna have my dad check on that.
Your
I'm
dad.
gonna just give him the
Okay.
keys. Let him check on that. Because I have a toolbox in there, because you never know.
That's good.
And duct tape.
That's
You don't
good.
know if you need duct tape. Um,
That's true too.
I have a lot of shopping bags in there. Like, because you might want to go over to Aldi or Lidl. You don't want to pay the 80 cents
You
or
don't.
30 cents for a bag. Even Wegmans,
How much?
because
Wait a
Wegmans
minute. How
charges
much
you.
are y'all bags? Oh shoot, I
It,
forgot. Y'all got to pay for bags up there. I forgot about that.
yeah, they done changed everything up on us. We don't even have a tax-free weekend anymore. So,
They did that somewhere down here. I think North Carolina is like that now. Yeah.
I was like, so I have to make a trip to Delaware for a weekend, is what you're telling me? Because they don't have any taxes so
True.
on stuff. So I got a lot of shopping bags in there, and then I got like a bag in there that's filled with other bags, and then a change of clothes and my Adidas slides that they're not mine. I took from my mom.
Oh my god.
So yeah. But I
How's your
have
mom? I
brand
ain't
new
talked to your
Macs.
mom since '88.
She's fine. She's
Good.
fine. She's been doing good. My dad, he's doing good. He hates the fact that I'm back home, but I'm like, it's okay because I'm your best friend.
Yeah,
All
you had to
right.
come back home because of this rent. So that's the other part of
Yes.
adulting. So you had to, I won't say swallow your pride, but you had to look around at
Yeah.
your spot and make it a wise decision. So what
I had to get a storage unit.
yeah.
I was shocked, gobsmacked because, okay, mind you, so I realized that I had to come home about October because they were going to up my rent in January. So I was like, clock's ticking, holidays is coming, and I gotta get a storage unit, move back home, and do all of this in the midst of Christmas. So I went, got a storage unit like the first week of January. I put off moving home for all the way up until the last second. So I got my storage unit. They said, "Oh yeah, for sure, free for the first month." I said, "Great." Last month they sent a notice saying that they're upping it to over $100 on me.
I was gonna tell you that. Yeah, after about 6
Hmm.
months. Mm-hmm. Because I got one now.
Hmm.
Mine has gone up. Mine was like 80 or something like that when I first moved back
Yeah,
down here. Yeah.
it went from 72 to 100. I said, "Why? Why do you not like me?" I was like, "I have the smallest storage unit." I was like, but I have no space for this. So yeah, so I moved back home in January and I've been home since. But I love it because I can up and go
Mm-hmm.
and I know that somebody's gonna feed my cat. Um,
That is not what I thought you were gonna say. I thought you were like, "Oh, I'm back with my family." Oh my goodness. Well, you know what?
someone's gonna feed my cat and I don't cook dinner. So it's a win-win.
It is, and it is a beautiful thing for those of you listening out there, man. It's rough out here, and shoot, I live at home right now because of what I went through. I've did an episode on that, by the way. So
Mhm.
it's good to be able to hit that reset button and have a support system. You know what I'm saying? But those of you who have to return, make sure you do what you're supposed to do. Like I pay my mom's rent, I pay rent, and I clean up, I cook. Just made her seafood
Yeah.
boil. I made her a mini seafood boil because she wanted crab legs. But I take care of the house like it was mine. You know what I'm saying? Vacuum and all that good stuff. And I think that's where the conflict comes in. Sometimes people move back in and want to be the teenager again. It's like no 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 no. You got a job. You got to do
Yeah.
these things. Now, why are you not cooking?
Uh, I just like, mm-mm. Oh, so I have a history of sometimes kind of not being dense, but having almost like a blonde moment in the kitchen
Uh oh.
in a way. So last year in April, apparently, if there's a paper plate and it's sparkly, you can't put that in the microwave. Had no idea. Put a sliced pizza on it, put it in the microwave for a minute, walked away, came back, it was a fire. I was like, oh my gosh,
You
in the
bl-
microwave.
you blew up a
It didn't blow
microwave.
up.
Yes, you did.
I didn't blow it up. I I didn't blow it up. I was just sitting there looking at my mom. I was like, "What's the matter? What's going on?" And yeah, it was the plate was on fire, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess." I was like, "It's the paper plate."
Nah, something else was in there, yo. It had to be some foil or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, it was foil in the paper plate. Yeah,
What kind of paper plate? I'm confused.
because it was a like sparkly, decorative, like happy birthday plate. Yeah,
Oh.
and I was just
Mm.
like, "Paper plate." I was like, "Yeah, less dishes," and put it in the microwave, and it was a fire. I was like, "Oh, okay."
Less dishes, but I need the fire extinguisher. Good God.
Yeah.
So now you don't want to
Um,
cook?
no, it's not that. I'm just like, hey, my mom, I was like, you got it. I'll make coffee in the morning. I make coffees in the morning for them. Even if I don't drink any. I'll make coffee in the morning. Every once in a while I do get groceries because I used to go, my mom would get groceries on like Saturday or Sunday, but then I would go on Sunday, like afternoon, all the way out to like Trader Joe's or something to get like just a whole bunch of just random stuff that you don't really need, but you're like, oh my gosh, Trader Joe's, love it. So I picked up gooseberries.
I don't
Yeah,
even know what that is.
gooseberries. It. Listen, them things are so sour.
You found out the hard
I
way.
don't know. I don't know why I picked those up. I was just like, oh yeah, I love berries. I don't know why I picked those up. Picked up gooseberries, picked up some lemonade, some limeade, and I picked up like some cookies and brownies for like my parents if they have
Oh
like a
my
little sweet
god.
tooth.
You don't even eat food.
And yeah, I do. I picked up some of like the fried rice that they have because their fried rice is actually pretty good.
I've heard that
Uh,
actually.
yeah, it's pretty good. I have like 4 bags in the freezer right now.
That's not.
And it's cheap. So that's why I was
Yeah.
like, okay.
You sound like me.
So
Hmm.
yeah, so I get that. I get my little sun butter cups and I call it a day. And I come home and I'm like, I brought groceries. And
You did not. You do not have the audacity to walk in your house and say I bought groceries with 4 bags of fried rice, sun butter
yep,
cups that only you gonna eat,
yep. Hmm.
and what gooseberries
And
and
gooseberries.
and lemonade and lime. Okay, we're gonna move on because you.
Yep.
So now I guess what's your thought process in the next phase? Like, so you're still working, correct? You quit?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm still working. I have not quit. I wish, but I know I like money. I like
Yeah.
seeing my bank account a lot. So I know that if I quit, I'm like, the money's gonna stop coming in.
Yeah. Can't quit.
Um, yeah. I was like, maybe one day I'll hit the lotto, just one good time. I don't know.
It's not gonna
Yeah,
happen.
it's not. And I was like,
It ain't.
dang. So hoping one day I stumble upon $1 million somehow.
That's not how that. That's not how that
Yeah.
works. Maybe you'll. Well, are you still date? You still in a relationship?
No, thank God, no.
Uh,
Yeah.
Can we?
So that was also the reason why I moved home after graduation. Because turns out homeboy was a little crazy. He didn't take his mask off until around my graduation, really.
Uh,
I was like, oh, you're jealous. So that's really what it was. Jealous that I had graduated and he was still in school.
huh?
He started acting a fool.
He
Yeah,
he
because
was
I had
jealous
graduated
because you
early.
you you did what you were supposed to do. Oh, you did
Yeah,
graduate early. You was smart,
yeah.
but he should have known that.
I exactly. But he was crazy. Um, yeah, he was crazy because it was an issue that I had graduated. And then it was like a whole like 9 month saga with him last year. I'm so glad
You
that
you
that's
got to
so
give us a
done
story.
over.
So what? Wait, what
Okay.
did he explain why he was upset that you graduated early? What was his?
He thought that I was like I thought I was better than him because I had graduated and then I while I was unemployed, I because I was already at the point where I was like, yeah, this relationship needs to end, but I'm not going to be the one that ends it. You need to end
Oh
it
God, why?
because
Because
he was really like he wanted to be like victim really bad and I was like I just can't give it to you. I was like I'm just going to like just make sure that I just clock out of this relationship just mentally everything. I was like you're going to have to break up with
you
me at
shouldn't
this
have did
point.
that.
Yeah, all I did was just excite the crazy basically. So I had moved home after graduation. Mind you, I still had my apartment in Richmond. And every once in a while, I would go back to Richmond on a weekend or anything like that. And I
Mhm.
was unemployed, but I had told him that I was working.
So
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 I don't know
you're
if
a
that was,
liar. Go ahead.
yeah,
See, now the
a
truth is
proud
coming
one.
out.
A
See,
proud
he
one.
was crazy a minute ago, but now you lying. Go ahead. I'm just.
No, I had to lie because he just didn't understand why. I had turned down a job in Richmond because I was basically hit with the job offer by the time that I was graduating to work at a news station, but they were trying to have me have a salary of maybe like 30K. And I
Doing
said,
whoa
how
whoa
does
whoa
that
whoa
work?
whoa 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 what?
Yeah.
Those salary those.
Yeah.
Go
It
ahead.
was it was a very low salary in comparison to where I could be in Northern Virginia. I was like, yeah, the market's different because it's Richmond and then
You
here.
can't live off of $30,000.
No, you can't. So, and then also I realized at that point that I was not into news as much as I thought I would have been because I was like, I would also have to be working these crazy hours and having to be available on holidays. And I was just like,
Oh
you know
yeah.
what? I was like, I'm not into that. I was like, I'm not gonna be ripping and running and everything. And my oil engine light comes on my body, and now I'm just old and frail.
Not the
No, I
check
was like,
engine oil light on your body.
I was just like, I was like, I'm getting like what, maybe 2 hours of sleep if I do that job? Absolutely not. So he was upset that I basically decided that I was gonna move back home, get a job in Northern Virginia. He was like, you just turned down the biggest opportunity of your life. And I said, great, thank you.
You
Love
turned down
that.
the biggest opportunity of your life, a news station for 30,000 funky ass dollars. No.
Yes. And I was just like, to
Who
live in a apartment, a 1 bedroom apartment in Richmond. I was like, absolutely
who
not.
gonna pay the
So
what was your rent in Richmond? You remember?
it was 1369.
No. Mm-mm.
Mm,
A
and
check
I was
would
just like,
your whole paycheck wouldn't even cover that. Your paycheck would have been like
exactly.
I don't even know if your check would have been 800.
Exactly. And for that, and I didn't have a car in Richmond either. So then if I had to get a car for a job, I would be stretched completely. And I was like, I'm working just to live,
Mm.
not enjoy anything. So he was upset with that. So that's why I lied and said, yeah, I got a job up in Northern Virginia. And he was heated. And he was so heated. And I remember at one point, I was just so over because every time that I saw him, it was an argument. It was an argument. It was like, oh my gosh, you think you're doing so much better than me? Oh, you think you saw somebody at your job? And I'm sitting there on the couch laughing because I'm like, what job? I lied to you. There is no
So
job.
you causing you sound like the problem. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
No, no, because he
Yes.
was very, very narcissist. And it was because he wanted me to stay in Richmond with him and basically do everything for him. Because he
Hmm.
had practically moved himself into my apartment
Hmm.
when I was gone a weekend a couple months ago, and he never left. And so I remember I came back because he had like a week of layover before he moved into his own place, and he didn't have a place to live for like a week. And I said, oh yeah, I'm going home for a week, just hang tight, whatever. I came back, my clothes were pushed to the side in the closet and his clothes were up. I was like, oh. So we just moving in. So because he had practically moved himself into my apartment in like, I want to say like August. And so my whole like last semester in college up until then. And I was just like, you know what? I need you out of here because you're doing the most. I was like, you're trying to dictate stuff. You're not paying bills. Like, come
Oh
on, be for real.
yeah. God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Got it. Got yeah. Mm-mm. So he
So
didn't move into his own place.
he did, but he never spent the time there. So because he was a RA,
Mm-hmm.
so
Okay.
he always spent time at my place because it was an apartment. And he had roommates there. So in February, I was like at the mindset where I was like, yeah, this relationship is done. It's over. I was like, he's a little cuckooing. Because one weekend I went down there to just hang out with one of my friends because she was having a watch party for a TV show, Euphoria, that was going on. I went there. I didn't want to tell him I was there because I wanted to have my apartment to myself because it was at the point where he was like always there. And I was like, my apartment is no longer mine because you're always here.
Your piece.
And yeah, and I was like, this used to be my piece. And now my piece is back at home in my little childhood bedroom because you're always like here and you're always like expecting, like, oh, did you cook anything? I was like, why would I cook for you? Come on, be for real. Why would I do that?
Did you ever have a
And so
discussion with him about him being over there all the time?
yeah, and he was like, well, don't you want to spend time with me? I was like, yes, but like this is my piece. This is my place. It was my place before we even dated. So, but he was just very much just there all the time. And so I was just like, okay. So I went because it was a last minute thing anyways, and I went and I was like, let me just spend the night at my own apartment and then be done with it. I don't know how. I'm in the car with my friend as she's picking up her other friend and everything. He drives by us on his bike. I duck so quick because it's dark, it's nighttime. It's dark. It's
Yo,
nighttime.
you're
I
hiding
duck so
from your own
quick
boyfriend. You sound crazy. Go ahead, yo.
because it was like at that point, I was just like, this is too much because he was just he got like really obsessive and controlling.
Hmm.
So about like when I was in Richmond and when I wasn't. And I remember I ducked so quick and it was nighttime and I was telling my friend about it because I was like, yeah, it's like he's just been like very just controlling and he's getting real crazy and everything. And I was like, I'm ready to be out of this relationship, but I don't want to be the one to do it because I don't want to be the one to do it in person at all because I just don't know what he's up to at this point. And
Hmm.
I was at her place and he started spamming my phone like nobody's business. He started texting. He was like, "Are you in Richmond? Are you in Richmond?" I was like, "Whoa." I was like, "How do you know?" I get back to my apartment. I'm asleep. Mind you, I live in a secured building, so you have to have a key fob to enter. He shows up at outside my apartment door at 1, 2 in the morning, banging on the door
What?
until I let him in. Yeah, he got real crazy on me. I want to say that February, and that's why I was like, I need to sublease this apartment. I need to get out of here because he somehow decided that he was going to wait outside of my building until somebody opened the door for him. Then go in the elevator because you also need the key fob to use the elevator. Go into the elevator with this person and then get to my apartment to be on my door because he knew I was in Richmond and I didn't say anything to him. And I
What?
was like, yeah. I was like, he's crazy. I was like, this is why I don't want to break up with him in person because I don't know what he's about to do because
Yeah.
that's just aggressive.
Yeah.
That was aggressive, stalkerish from the get-go. So once that happened, I was like, oh, I was like, so I can't even like enjoy my apartment because if I'm here, like you just have to be here with me.
Hmm.
And the other thing was, I should have known back in like October-ish, he started taking my key when he would
What?
leave the apartment building. So he would take my keys when he would leave so that he could get back into the apartment, but it was only one apartment key. So I wouldn't be able to lock my door if I left, and I would be locked out of my own apartment building, and my cat was also
So
there.
you're not going anywhere, is what
So
he said, without saying
yeah, basically,
it.
without saying it. So he would take my like key and then leave. And I would just be like stuck in my apartment because it's like I can't leave because I won't be able to know if I'll get back in. And also I have a cat. And I was like, if anyone came by and opened the door, they could tell I was a girl living by myself. Like, and you don't know if they could be sitting there waiting for me if I ever came back. So I
Right.
was like, So it was like a safety issue with that. And so I remember I posted an ad to sublease it on like Facebook and
He
everything
saw it.
because yeah, I was sitting there like I was stressed because I told him I said, "Yeah, I'm about to pack up shop, move back home. I'm gonna get rid of this apartment." He would call me in the middle of the night to just start an argument with me when I was home.
Man.
Anytime I was home and not in Richmond. And then the one time that I started like packing up my stuff, me and my mom, we made a trip down there in March and everything. And I was packing up stuff, like just moving out slowly. And he legit texted me. He said, "Are you in Richmond right now?" And my mom was like, "We gotta go." She
Yeah.
was like, "No, he's crazy. Like, I don't know if he's keeping tabs on me. I don't know how. I don't share my location." And it's not like I gave him a reason to like of me being sneaky. It was just I need to get out of here as seamlessly as possible because you're crazy. I don't know
But you were
what's gonna go
sneaky.
on.
He didn't know it, but
I
you were
was
sneaky. But you were
I
sneaky
was
because of him.
sneaky.
But you were sneaky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
I was sneaky for
Erica.
my safety because he
In
was
peace.
really aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah. I for my safety and for my peace because he was really aggressive. And when we broke up, he finally broke up in March because I was just like, I want to break up at this point. I just can't break up with you in person. And I don't know if that's what he wanted. And I was like, I do not want that. I don't know what you about to do. And especially because one night the last time I was in Richmond, he tried to make me miss my train back home.
What?
Because he showed up. He showed up because I told him I was like, yeah, I'm in Richmond. He showed up and I said, but I'm leaving tomorrow. My train's at like 5 in the morning. He stays over and he spends that entire night basically. He like snatches a blanket all dramatically off of my bed and then goes and sleeps on the couch. And I was like, congrats, you sleeping on the love seat. Like, okay. And every other hour he would basically come into my room and then he would just like stand there and wake me up. And I was just like, okay. So I was like, now you don't want me to like sleep. You want to like have an argument with me and you're acting crazy. I was like, if you waking me up every other hour and I told you I have a train that leaves at 5 in the morning, what's the matter with you? So I was like, yeah, you're crazy. I need to like get out of here as quickly as possible. And basically, I woke up at 4 to get ready for my train to leave at 5. I lived not that far away from the train station, but I had to get an Uber.
Mm-hmm.
He would not wake up. Like he was like saying, no, like, no, I'm gonna leave later. I'm gonna leave later. I was like, no, you need to leave now. So he did it all the way up until my Uber was outside practically waiting on me. And I was like, you're trying to make me miss my train so that I stay here. I already bought the ticket. Like, let's not do this. So I had to basically like force him out of my apartment with me because he was upset that I was leaving and I wouldn't leave him my key
Wow.
to my apartment. And I was like, mind you, you don't pay rent. You don't pay for anything in here. And I was like, that's crazy. No. So,
You are sharing some gems right now. I'm sorry to cut you off.
yeah.
Y'all, like, I know this may be entertaining for some of y'all, but for me, at the age that I'm at now, and the fact that I date women and I've encountered some of the things I've encountered in my relationships, this type of stuff is why.
Yeah.
But continue.
It was crazy because he would get just really like he was basically trying to like manipulate and control a lot in our relationship. And because I just wouldn't let him, I think that's why we would argue so many times. And like I remember one time, um, he would get mad if I ever left my apartment, basically. Like I remember one time in October, I went out with my friend and everything because I was like, oh yeah, like it's gonna be like the last time I see her because I'm gonna graduate, then I'm gonna go home. I went out. He was there in my apartment. I said, just I'm gonna take the key because I don't know what time I'll get back. It is what it is and everything. And he said, okay, cool, and everything. I leave, I come back. It's like 3 in the morning or so. I come back up to the
You
apartment.
came back at 3 in the
It's
morning.
unlocked. Yeah, because I went clubbing. So I went clubbing with my friend.
Oh.
Um,
Oh.
yeah,
That's why he didn't want
we
you to.
did.
Oh.
Yeah, so she wanted to go out and have like clubbing and everything. It was supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be a big group of us.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be a big group of us,
Girls' night out.
but
Gotcha.
yeah, like a girls' night out. But her other friends didn't go, so it was just me and her. And I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm already dressed. Like we could just go out, have fun, just me and you. So I told him that we dipped out, came back around 3 because mind you, we didn't leave until like maybe 12:30 or
Oh, you
so.
weren't
So
out
we
long
had
at
like a
all.
late yeah, so it's like
Yeah.
we weren't out like late at all. Not late. We weren't out long.
At all.
So,
That was a baby. That was a baby night out. 12 to
yeah, it
3.
was like a baby night. I
Yeah.
was like, okay. So, because I had sat there and waited for her. So then I came back using my key, everything. I go up, I open my apartment. Mind you, it's unlocked. I open it. He's gone. He left my apartment and at like 2 in the morning, he left my because I asked him what time did he leave. He said 2. He left my apartment at 2 in the morning, door unlocked, my cat inside, all of my valuables inside, lights off, everything, because he said, if you were able to go out, why can't I? I was like, wow.
Oh.
So he was doing that's when I was like checking out of the relationship because I was like, you just put my safety in jeopardy and you just put my cat in jeopardy
Not
because
the
I
cat.
love my cat. Yeah, I was like, I love my cat. I was like, I love my
Yeah.
cat. And also because people on my floor, they used to throw parties like all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the times when I was in my apartment, people would walk by and they would open the door. Like they would try to open the door, like just jingle it just to see if it was locked or not. I was like, you don't know if they had a party or not, or if anyone could have came into my apartment and then they could have seen my laptop. They could have seen anything.
Yeah.
I was like, you just like willingly did that because you were upset that I went out. So it was like a brewing to basically that kept growing over the couple of months. That's why I was just like, you know what? I just need to like have my peace. I'm not going to tell him when I'm in Richmond. And
And
so
he
we
knew
had a
anyway.
phone call. And he somehow knew anyway. I was like, okay,
That's mad
that's
creepy.
creepy.
That's mad creepy.
And yeah, and so in March we had a FaceTime call and everything, and he was like, "Yeah, I think we just need to take a break so I can focus on my studies because I'm about to graduate and everything." I said, "Perfect." I said, "That's not a problem with me." Then he was upset that I was okay with it. So he was
Because he was testing you. He didn't mean it.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, he was upset that I was perfectly okay. I wasn't gonna boohoo cry, shed a tear that we
That
were going on a break.
he was delusional at this
Yeah,
point. Jesus.
yeah. And so I was like, okay, perfect, fine. And after that, basically, it was crickets from him, and it was crickets and crickets until I want to say maybe like April. I was so happy that I was like, okay, I've pretty much have like one more drop in Richmond where I have to go clean everything up and then hand the keys over. You know, by the time that May came around, he sent me the invite to his graduation. I said, why would I go? Why would I
Yeah,
go?
come
Be
back
so
to me,
for
babe.
real.
Let's reunite.
Yeah,
I came to your
because
graduation.
after he acted a fool, he threw a temper tantrum about my graduation. And that was the issue where I knew he was jealous because it was my graduation and I told him, "Hey, like you're my significant other. My family's going to be here for my graduation. Would really like it if you would come." He was so upset. He said, "Why do I have to go to both of your graduations?" He was like, "Why do I have to go to both?" I talked to my mom, and my mom didn't go to either of her graduation. I said, "That's your mom. That's not me. That's your
Right.
mom." I like, so that happened. And then I said, "You know what? If you're making such a big deal about my graduation and meeting my family, then just don't show up." I told him, I was like, "Don't show up.
That
You're
part.
good." And he said, "No, he wants to show up." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "So now you want to show up?" And I said, "If you show up, don't blame me for any feelings that you have or because he kept saying that it was because he had finals the week after." And I said, "Okay, 2 days where it's 2 and 3 hours max of hanging with my family and seeing me graduate is going to deter you from studying the rest of next week."
Absolutely.
So,
You're
so
so
what happened
insensitive.
was, yeah, I'm so insensitive. And so, um, after my graduation, he had his finals and everything, and then he was upset that he got a B, or it was either a B or A. Either way, it was a passing score, but it wasn't the percentage that he wanted. And he said, "I knew that if I didn't go to your graduation, it was whatever." And he was like, "I knew that if I didn't go to your graduation, I would have gotten a higher score." And I looked at him and I said, "You could leave." Like, I blew up on him so quick because I said, like, "You're not gonna sit here, pity party, woo woo, woo was me. Oh my gosh, the world's out to get against me and everything because you got a percentage that you didn't want, but you still passed. And you're gonna blame it on me." So that's why I said everything had been brewing since about October until our breakup in March, where he wanted to take a break. And then in May, when he graduated, he started texting up a storm.
Yeah,
And he
absolutely.
starts, yeah, so he started texting up a storm because he graduated and then he's moving back home, everything like that. And then he was upset that I wasn't responding to his messages. Then he was FaceTime calling me, spamming. At this point, I'm already moved into my own apartment. He didn't know that. And that's
Yo.
why I lied about the job that I had when I saw him in February, because he wanted to make a point of going through my phone. I said, "There's no need to go through my phone because I'm not that type of person. One, two, you can go through it, but if you don't trust me, then we should never be together at this point."
Yeah. If I don't trust you, I can't be
Because
with you because then I'm be nah. I
yeah,
got enough to worry about in life. But yeah.
yeah. And so it's like I never gave him any like issues on thinking that of me or anything like that. And because then he like I remember I got an email and on my phone and I'm sitting there looking at it, and it was an email from my gym and he was like, "Oh, you go to that gym?" And I was like, "Whoa." I was like, "Why are you up in my phone like that? Like, relax." So that's why I lied about the job that I had, because I was like, "I don't need you popping up on me at all."
Mm.
And so in May, he was decided to spam call, spam text me, and then he decided that he was gonna spam me like pictures of us that we took together as like a happy couple and everything like that before I knew he was crazy. And he did that for months. He did that leading all from
Trying to get
May
that thing
all the
back.
way until August. So he would be talking to himself in the messages at like 2, 3 in the morning. So I would
What?
be sleep.
Wait.
Yeah, I would be sleep. I would have to, my alarm was for me to wake up at like 5:30 in the morning to go to work. And I would wake up to 100 text
A
messages from
hundred.
him. 100. And I would
See,
have like 20 FaceTime calls from him where he's calling me like every name under like in the book that he could think of. Then he's saying, you broke my heart. And he's like, you're ice cold, just ice cold and heartless and things like that because I'm not responding. And then he was just like, I miss you so much. I love you. I was just like, you're talking to yourself in these text messages. And he did it for months, like months.
so okay. This is a couple questions I had. Why didn't you block him?
I blocked him. I blocked him by August because I just ignored it. I used to throw it to the back of my head. I was just like, whatever. Because it's like I'm not responding to you and I'm not like opening these messages either. Like I would just see a preview. I was like, all right, he's back at whatever. I was like, he sounded like he'd been drinking or something. Cool. Or anything like that. I blocked him in August because that's when it started getting aggressive, basically. It was already aggressive, but it was getting to the point where I was like, okay, dude, I was like, you making it seem like you about to like pull up at my house or something at
Yeah, I'm
that
pulling
point.
up.
Cause yeah, like the last like 5 text messages that he had was like him just talking
What the?
real crazy. And I was just like, I was like, if you pull up at my house, like you have to deal with my dad, my brother, my mother. You gotta deal with everybody. And at that point, and at one point, part of me felt like I like deserved it only because
Mm.
of how I kind of just like went silent on him and everything. So I felt like I kind of like deserved this reaction from him. But then I was also like, no, I was like, you
Mm.
don't deserve to be called out 24/7
Yeah,
because
no.
you don't want to be in a relationship. So it was that. And also, he had admitted to cheating on me in one of the like the last texts. And I was just like, I knew it. I was like, I knew it. So that's also why I had like tapped out of the relationship.
Not you knew it.
Um, I knew it because the day that we had broken up, basically, he got on a call and he was like, yeah, I went to a house party. And I was like, you don't party. I was like, why? You don't
Mm.
party. And then he was being like extremely detailed and trying to give me a play by play of the whole night and everything. But then he messed up because he said that he got back to his place at like 2, but then he turned around and said it again. And he said he got back to his place at 5. And I was like, that's a 3-hour delay.
Yeah.
The house party's down the street. So 3 hours, what happened in those 3 hours? You said you got back to your place at 2. Why'd you get back to your place at 5? What happened between 2 to 5? So I kind of already knew because he would always say like little things to me because he was like, oh, I'm an RA and this girl, she wants me to go watch like TV with her, da da da
What?
da. How would that make you feel? And I said, go ahead. I was like, do it.
Oh my
I
god,
was
you.
like, I was like, if she wants you to watch like a movie or a TV with her and you do it, that's on you. Go ahead and do it. That doesn't mean that we're gonna be together if you do. So he would always try to like test me, I guess, to get a reaction. So he admitted
Young
to
love,
cheating.
man.
Yeah, that was just uh I'm
Yeah.
so glad to be free from that because that was crazy. And then also he continued to spam and text me and call me after he knew he was blocked, apparently. Because I had to get one of his friends involved because I was like, your man's is acting real crazy, but I wasn't the one to say it. I had to get my brother involved because my brother knew the friend,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. And hopefully now he's left me alone. He's blocked on everything. I hope I never see him because that was the turning point where I did need to block him was where he said that he knows that one day we're gonna run into each other. And I said, who's we? Why would we run into each other? I was like, oh no, we will not. I was like, because I don't know what that's gonna be like. But he was
Mm.
making comments like that. Like he said that we're gonna run into each other one day. You're gonna need me one day. I'm gonna be like this great guy. I'm gonna have this money. And I said, congrats. Doesn't have anything to do
No.
with me. But yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
hold that thought. Pause. Gotta love the pause button. Sorry, I had to turn my AC off because it keeps kicking on, and I know people can hear it. But you,
Yeah. That was a
so now
crazy relationship.
I'm at. So this is why I said earlier when you felt like that in the beginning, to that meme is in my, I can't let that go. That's why I said you should have broke up with him. Like, not that I knew that
Hmm.
that was gonna happen, but like once you are checking out or you have checked out of a relationship, there's nothing but drama to follow because typically both people know, and it's just
Yeah.
like nobody wants to acknowledge the elephant in the room. So you went
Yeah.
through, all of this for no reason. I mean, I'm not blaming you because you can't control his actions or his reactions, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I don't play these types of games with people. When people start showing me certain things, I'm like, yo, I'm about to stop talking to you. Like, I'm not
Like,
doing
and then
this.
the scary thing is he didn't show that the whole first 5 6 months that we were together. It
Mm,
was right around my graduation is
yeah,
when, like, it was like almost every day leading up to my graduation it was something crazy with him, and I was just like, well, it was like your mask is like it's slipping right now.
yeah,
So it was about that time, and I was just like, yeah. And then I started thinking about it, and one of the biggest things for me to realize, like, okay, this man's is crazy, is I needed to be home for a couple of days to be away from him because
yeah,
he was always there with me. So it's like you just couldn't see it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's well. I'm glad you made it out of that okay and unscathed. And again, for those of you listening, I mean, tons of valuable lessons in this because this is why some women go through stuff like that, and the good guy like me, I call myself a good guy, but I have such a hard time in the dating world. There's so much distrust. Sometimes I may do
Mm-hmm.
something that's completely innocent, but it reminds them of something that they went through in the past, and they're triggered, or they're like, "This is a red flag. Why are you doing this?" Like, there's always some suspicion, and I'm like, "Okay, this is just who I am." Like, but it's
Yeah.
funny too because those same type of women sometimes don't want to talk about their past, and I'm like, well, I didn't know that, so what I mean, you got to communicate. But so you just not dating no more? You're done?
So I've been single for over a year now, and I love it so much because I'm
Same.
like, I don't have to deal with crazy at
Yeah.
all.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, I'm not shut off completely from it, even though I know that my friends and my family think that I am. And I was like, no, I think now that I've had some crazy relationships, I can want to just take my time and want to make sure that the person that I do get into a relationship with next time, they're vetted out.
Yeah.
I need to see how they are when they get angry, how they get upset, when they're jealous, because I don't want to be already settled into a relationship with them and then for them to show me that. So
Oh.
yeah.
How long did
Yeah.
y'all date before y'all decided to be in a relationship? Well, what do you? Okay, that's a whole nother
Oh,
conversation. These
so
phases.
that's the other thing, is he had told me basically while we were kind of like on the edge of like breaking up, that like he lived in my apartment building before he became an RA, but he had been watching me basically for like a couple of months before he approached me, because I went to the gym in the building in the mornings,
Mm-hmm.
and he knew the time that I would be there. So he would go there at that time because he knew that I had a routine. I was like, that's frightening to know that the person that you're in a relationship with now was practically stalking you
He
like
was.
before they approached you.
I don't know. Uh, that's
He
stalk.
said
Yeah,
it
that is stalkerish. Ish.
he said for like 5 or so months,
Okay, yeah, no, 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 no.
basically.
So he's
He was
no.
just like, yeah, he was like, I basically knew that if I went to the gym at this time, I'd see you there. And I was like, that's
Did he
creepy.
talk to you
I was like,
often?
no, no, he never spoke to me. And I was sitting there like, that's creepy, because it's like I'm minding my own business. I'm in the gym, whatever. I'm doing that. I'm in a student run like apartment, basically. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm safe practically. No,
No.
he knew my schedule. He knew the times that I would go to the gym on what days.
This is
Yeah.
not what I expected us to be talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this provides me valuable perspective, and for the fellas out there, man, I hope this is providing you with fellas with perspective, because this is why, I know women who are very defensive, very cautious, and stuff like this happens all the time. I could give y'all a million stories, and that's why I tell a lot of my homegirls, like, do you have a knife? Do you have pepper spray? Because, like,
Yeah.
dudes is crazy. Like, people are crazy out here anyway. But, like, what y'all go through, y'all experiences with the dating world are vastly different. Like, I never feel like I'm in danger. Like, there are situations where dudes get set up, quote unquote, but, like, other than that, there's not really a horror story. Maybe you'll get played, but, like, I've never been to the point where I'm in the dating world and I have to be fearful. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, that would make you not want to date. That would make you want to shut down. It's like, this is literally dangerous. Like, why would I want to do this? So, wow.
Yeah.
That's
He definitely made me feel like I should have been fearful of him every time that we had an argument or a disagreement, and that's kind of why I didn't want to break up with him. I wanted him to be the one, because that last trip down to Richmond that I was there with him, and I was like, I'm really sleeping with my pocket knife under my pillow just in case you want to act funny. Like, that's
what?
crazy. Yeah, when
Yeah.
he kept coming into my room to wake me up and stuff, I was just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. So I was already like on edge, and I was just like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm prepared. I was like at this point, so
At what point did you
yeah.
let your brother and your parents know that, yo, this mofo is crazy?
They found out that August, like that end of July, basically, because I was just dealing with it with myself, because I was just like, like my mom like knew like what was going on, but she didn't know to the extent.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't ever tell them to the extent of what was going on. Like, I was just like, that's just mine to carry at this point, because I told you I felt like it was like my fault and I
Yeah.
just should have just whatever. But I remember I was having like such a like crappy day at work, and I saw like he was just doing it like the whole day, and I was just like, somebody's unemployed, because I was sitting there. He was like texting me like that whole day
Not you
and
counting his
everything, and I was
emotional
just
pockets.
yeah, and I was just like, oh my gosh. I was like, somebody's unemployed, somebody's bored today, because they just like, usually it stops when the sun comes out, but he just kept going and going. And that's when I just like took like a screenshot and sent it to my mom. And she found that out. She was so upset. My dad mad, my brother mad, like
Yeah.
everybody was mad and everything about like him and the audacity that he had to like do that. They still don't know to a certain extent what everything was, but I'm also glad that they don't, because I don't have enough money to bail everybody out of jail. I
Yeah.
don't.
No. Yeah. And jail's
So
not fun. Speaking from my
no.
experience, see what I did there?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
This is deep. This is
Yeah.
you're actually helping me as a man and as a person, because most of my close friends are women, and sometimes I don't understand some of the stuff that they do, but they don't ever tell me the full backstory sometimes. But
Yeah.
it makes sense, because I'm the type of person, when I go through stuff, I pull from
Hmm.
those experiences, and I'm like, we're not doing this again. Like,
Yeah.
these things
So
are on this do not ever do again list, and the reactions and stuff I see is fine. Like, for you to be, I mean, you stayed with him out of fear, basically, of his reaction.
pretty much. Pretty
That's
much for those
that's common.
couple of months. Yeah.
That's very. I've heard that more than once. Not wanting to be able to break up with, not wanting to break up with you in person. Yo, do you know how? That's wild, yo. I don't think I've ever been in a relationship where I'm like, yo, I don't need to break up with her in person. Like, I've never.
Yeah.
I don't think I've dated anyone that's really out of their mind like that. I've never had that.
Because it made me feel as if, because I never shared my location with him. So it made me feel as if he either had his friends like looking basically at that point, because I'm like, there's no way that I'm in Richmond and I haven't like said anything,
That's
like there's
wild.
no way. Yeah. So he definitely, I don't, mm-mm. Uh, and it didn't help that when I moved back home and I knew that he had moved back home, that's also why I didn't want to block him, is because I knew that he was back home and we live practically almost in the same neighborhood. So so that's why I never wanted to block him just in case he had like text something and I wanted to have like that evidence if I could, basically. If he was trying to make a threat or anything like
Mm,
that, I was like, I got it from there. So that's why I also didn't want to block him because I never knew. It was to the point where I had moved out of my home, yes, but he didn't know that. So
mm,
if I came to visit my parents, I couldn't park in the driveway because he didn't know that I had bought myself a car. So I couldn't park in the driveway. I had to park on the street somewhere, and I would have to take my apartment like emblem thing off of my car so that there was like no instance of if he like drove down my street, he knew that I was either home or if it was my car or follow me. Like I had to take so many precautions measures last year, like going to like the local town center, like I could not go there by myself because I knew that he would frequent that place a lot.
yeah.
So like I didn't go there. I didn't go to like there's a cafe like not too far from here. I never went there because I knew that he goes there. So like I just knew that he went there all the time. So I like avoided that. So that's why my brother kind of had to like I guess like cut in with his friend and
Mm-hmm.
him and like tag team him because it's like I should not have to go out and look over my shoulder and everything practically for like the entirety of the time that you're back in our hometown and I'm back in my hometown. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all can't see me. I'm making a face because I'm in disbelief because I mean I know your disposition. You're calm. You're chill, and it always weirds me out when people act like that towards people like you because you're so calm. You're not a yeller. You're not a screamer. You're not a fusser. You're not a fighter.
No.
And yeah, that sounds like a lot of insecurity there. But hopefully,
A lot
a
a lot
whole
of
lot,
insecurity.
a whole lot.
Uh and I was just like I have personality, yes, but I can't deal with this at all.
No,
I was like,
man,
this is a
that's
lot.
so. Next
Yeah.
time, break up. Like
Yeah. Next time I'll just send that breakup text. If I can't break up with you in person, I'll send the breakup
the
text instead of just
breakup
sitting.
text can't even get a
If
phone
I
call.
can't, no,
No, I'm talking
no.
about when you were starting to check out of the relationship before the crazy really kicked in.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
text.
I think I think it would have had to have been a phone call voicemail because I don't he wouldn't have picked up the phone. So that's why it would probably be like a little voicemail thing
Oh,
that
I
he
ain't
would
get
just
it. I
hear.
ain't get it. Let me come over so we can
Yeah.
talk about it.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't want. I was
Yeah.
just like, I wanted it to be where there is no way physical possible that he could like come to see me, basically, to try to hash it out in person. I was like, no, because it's like if I say it's over, we're done. I don't need any other. I was like, you're too crazy. So yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, that's what most people say.
Oh
Like
my
when I had
god.
to tell my friends about it, they were just like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, I would be called like the ice queen in text messages from him at like 2 in the morning and everything. I was like,
Yo.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So just yeah, moving forward, please trust your instincts. Have
yeah,
conversations, trust your instincts. Don't drag it out, but more importantly, loop somebody in, like for
yeah.
real, because
Crazy things.
I would never expect someone like you to tell me this type of story.
Yeah,
Yeah. But being single is dope and
crazy.
fun. You don't have to worry about anyone's
I love
feelings or
being
emotions.
single
Yeah.
because I think that my tolerance is like really low for like the shenanigans.
Yeah,
I was
same.
like, okay, so like my tolerance is really low. I have gone on dates, not been entertained at all. I was like, yeah, this was fun, but we need to go our separate ways and make it known because I'm like, there's just nothing here, you know?
You
So
say it like that with the face you making now?
I know, not with the
Damn.
face. I try to be nice about
In
it,
a
but it's
text
kind of
message?
like, no, not
Oh,
in text
you tell
message. I'll
people.
let them know.
Okay.
Because I'm just like, I'll let you know. But I did that a couple weeks ago. I was like, yeah, I don't see this going anywhere for us, unfortunately.
Wow.
Fortunately for me, fortunately for you.
What did you say?
I was like, fortunately for me, maybe unfortunately for you. I don't know.
Wow.
Because I think I really enjoy being single. Yeah.
Do you desire a relationship, marriage, kids, all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely do.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that I'm just like, I was like, maybe it's not in the cards right now for me because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, maybe I still have things to work on myself. I was like, I'm a work in progress. I know
Yes, you
that.
are.
Yeah. So that's why I'm just like, I was like, I know I got some things. I was like, so that's why I'm also like, it'll come whenever it comes, but I'm not gonna force it and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna rush it.
Yeah. Only thing I will leave you on this note right here when it comes to the dating world, me being well, not quite twice your age, but 38. And having, because I desire the same thing and I still don't have it. But
Hmm.
I, looking back on it, I was not as intentional as I should have been. Meaning,
Yeah.
I had this idea or I knew what I wanted, and when I got into relationships and situations where I could clearly see that this ain't it and this is not doing that,
Hmm.
I come from the generation of we work it out, we work through it, we're gonna get through this. But I had
Yeah.
to wake up and learn that that exists and that's a good mentality to have. But if that other person is not willing to work with you, you can't force them. You know what I'm saying? So I would
Exactly.
say definitely, keep it on the forefront. And then when you don't see that, then bring up the
Hmm.
conversation. And when they're not working towards it, save your time. Like, and I'm not trying to diss anyone that I dated or was in a relationship with, but like some of them could have definitely ended sooner because I didn't
Yeah.
see, you're so busy being in love and we're gonna get through this and everything's lovey
It's the
dovey.
puppy love.
It's the yeah, you like and you're blinded, but it's like, yo, like this ain't it. This ain't what we talked about. I'm not seeing the actions and stuff like that. And I've gotten better. Like now, it's like I'm like you. Like I can tell.
Hmm.
I'm like, and it doesn't make them a bad person, but it's like you don't fit what I'm looking for. Like you're not there yet, or you're not with it, and that's fine. That's cool. But like I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. That
mm,
was definitely one of the instances. So like my friends, they were like, oh my gosh, Erica, get on the app, get on the app. I got on the
oh,
apps and I was just like, no thanks. No thanks. I was like, people are weird. So I've kind of written that off too, because I'm like, there's some weirdos out there. I'm good. I was like, I like my weird because I'm weird, yes, but it doesn't make anyone else feel uncomfortable.
mm-hmm.
Y'all are just weirdos. Like y'all are just weird, like straight up.
Yeah,
So
I don't see myself really getting on dating apps ever. I prefer to meet you
I hate it.
organically or through a mutual friend because these you can be whoever you want to be on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what I've kind of run into is like the personalities. And also, I don't like the feel. I know this probably sounds so terrible, but I don't like the feel of it like on an app like you're advertising yourself. It's like, why do
Yeah.
I have to feel like I have to like, oh my gosh, pick me. I'm the most interesting person. Pick me over them, pick me over them. It's like I hate that. Because why do I have to like sit here and do all that for myself? I
Yeah.
was like, I don't, yeah. But I'm better off. I think I'm better off meeting people in person and just letting that happen over time. Cause I don't like, just like you said, people can build up who they want to be online. And then when you go to meet them, they're just flat characters, just
Mm-hmm.
flat, nothing
Hatfish,
special.
height fish.
Yeah, like nothing.
I'm 6'2". You a strong 5'7", sir.
Yeah, I definitely got that one too. I was just like, I was like, if you're 6'2", I must be 5'11". I was like, I was like, how?
Have you ever
Like,
been catfish before? Maybe in college. Yeah, I rolled with the homeboy somewhere. He was like, "Oh, she fine, blah blah blah." When I got there, I was like, "Oh, you needed a wingman. You should have just said that. Got my hopes up. Got a good outfit on and everything for this." So mad. I never forget that. I remember that. But yeah, that's another reason why I like to meet people organically. I'm like, I need to see you and make sure I'm attracted to you. Sorry, I'm not shallow, but yeah.
And also, I feel like I'm not a picture type of person either. So I definitely understand like pictures, like someone could look completely different in the pictures,
Yeah.
like better in person. And I'm like, I totally get that. Not everyone is gonna be photogenic. I know it's hard for me to take pictures. I hate pictures.
Yeah,
So I
you have
definitely
no.
get
There's
that.
no pictures of you anywhere. I'm still
Nope.
don't even have you on the website.
I did do a headshot 2 weeks ago. It took a couple of years.
A
But I did
couple.
do a headshot.
It took you 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a headshot now. Um, but
Let me hit a
yeah.
round of applause for that.
So yeah, I did a headshot finally. So I actually look how I'm supposed to look, basically, because I was using that senior picture
I
that I
know
took
what you
back in high
was.
school.
Yo, the high school senior picture that looks like the slash prom night picture with all the effects and when you
Yes.
look like a
And
baby.
I use
Freaking
that on
funny.
my LinkedIn on everything. And I remember I think it's still on my LinkedIn. And I remember applying to jobs and then doing like the Zoom interview. And I'm like, hello. I look absolutely nothing like that picture.
Hello, who this? Erica? That's you, girl?
They're just like, oh, hey. And I was
Hey,
like,
girl.
hi.
Hey, girl. What the heck?
Yeah, I was like, yeah,
That's
that picture's a
wild.
little bit outdated.
A little. Picture's mad old. My picture, you know what? My picture is mad old too that I use on everything. I'm talking about you, but
But you still look like
I do
the
look like
picture.
my beard is bigger. That's really it. But I do definitely look. Someone told me I
Yeah.
look different in person. Actually, my newest job. But you know what? During my Zoom interview, I had my glasses on. And I told her I was like, I had glasses on when I zoomed with y'all, and I don't know why I had my glasses on. Oh no, I do know
Hmm.
why. I had notes. I had sticky notes in case they tried to
Oh,
get me and ask me company questions. I'm like, man, I ain't doing all that company research. I'm
you
gonna know the
don't wear
basics.
contacts? You don't
I
wear
do wear
contacts?
contacts.
Okay.
I don't. I'm
Yeah.
nearsighted, so I could see them, but I wanted to make sure I saw them clearly. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I have
I'm
contacts and
nearsighted
glasses.
too.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
understand the struggle.
I do contacts all around.
I like glasses
I
because when I'm at home relaxing, and okay, I'll just be honest, y'all. I'll be falling asleep, so
oh,
I'll be in the middle of a show, and you know, I have the type of contacts you're not supposed to sleep in. So
are
yeah,
they the daily or the
no
monthlies?
monthlies.
I did monthlies too. I've been taking naps. Sorry. I've been
Yeah,
taking
but
naps.
you
No.
know what that does to your eyes. Your eye boogers be crazy, yo. Them
I
jumps.
like when I remember my college orientation, where we had to be there for like that one weekend. I packed everything but my contact case. And I had the solution. No, I didn't have a solution. So I didn't have my contact case and I didn't have my solution.
Mm,
And I was like, how do I forget those out of everything else?
out of
And I remember
everything.
the roommate that I had, the roommate that I had, she had contact solution. So, I climbed up on that big old bunk bed and I went to sleep. I didn't even go to sleep. I just laid on my bed, hands crossed, and I set a timer for every 2 hours throughout the night for me to wake up, move my contacts around so that they wouldn't be glued to my eye because I didn't have a case.
Talk about stress.
And I remember I was so happy when she finally woke up at 8 o'clock. And I was just like, hey girl, can I use your solution? And I just remember like just pouring it in my eyes and just rubbing my eyes
Your little dry ass eyes.
because they were so dry. They hurt so bad. And I just kept pouring it. And I remember she came and I said, oh, hey girl. I just finished rubbing my eyes all crazy. I was like,
Oh
hey,
my
thank you
god.
so much.
Somebody of the contact companies must have learned that because now I have 500 of those things. Because it comes with a
Yes.
solution now. So like, I'll always have. I got like so many now. But yeah, when I first started, that was a hard habit to get into. Is making
Yes.
sure you had the case and making sure you had a solution. One time I went out of town and one of them fell out. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god! So I had to take the other one out because you know you don't be that'll give you a bad headache. So I couldn't see nothing.
Mm-hmm. I remember that happened to me when I was in high school. It was, I think, the first week or that second week that I had contacts for the first time. And so I wasn't driving yet because I was a freshman in high school. And I remember I was in like my last period class of the day and I was sitting there and I was like, dang, my eyes kind of itchy and everything. And I was sitting there doing that. Come to find out, I had ripped the
Oh
contact
yeah.
while it was in my eye. I
Yeah.
had split it in half.
Mhm.
And I just was sitting there and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I can't. And everybody was like, Ericca, are you okay? I said, I gotta go to the bathroom. And I had to go to the bathroom and I had to peel my eye up and try to find
And
that other
find,
half.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
was stressed.
That's scary because
I
like,
was
am I gonna
stressed.
die? I don't want this thing. I still think I got a
Yeah.
contact on my eye somewhere. Ain't no way. There's
I
yeah,
hate when they fall out and you can't tell. I do it almost every month now. When I get a new like case of them open and I sit there, I'm up against the mirror, I pop it in my eye, I see it.
yeah.
I don't see it when it jumps back out my eye. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I was like, why is one eye so blurry? I'm sitting here doing this. I'm like, oh my gosh, the contact is back behind my eyeball. And I'm just sitting here just rubbing my eye crazy just for me to sit there and look on the counter and contact sitting right there, like,
Right there on the
hello,
counter. Right there on the
just
counter.
drying up.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Or you thought you put the solution in the case and you didn't, and you come back the next morning and they like raisins,
crusty.
and you cannot
They're
revive
all
it.
wrinkled.
Yeah, you cannot revive it. Yo is not gonna have the right shape. It's done.
I I am infamous for having maybe just enough for my left eye because I have two different prescriptions in each eye. And
Mm,
I have like maybe extras. Like I have like maybe three extras for my right eye, but I am all out in my left because it's the amount of times that I have ripped one from my left or I have dropped it on the floor and I'm just like, you can't clean it.
you can't
Once it's on
clean.
the floor, it's on
You,
the
that's
floor.
it. Yeah, don't want to put that in your face
So
for sure.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, Erica, I'm gonna let you go, man. It was great catching up with you. It's I yeah, thank you for sharing your experience with
Of course.
Crazy Face there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and welcome back. And you know we're
Yeah.
still gonna catch up because your adulting journey is just beginning.
Yes. So we just saw my cocoon phase of adulting.
Yes. But I'm glad to see you back. I know the audience is glad to hear you back on the show. And y'all, this is the guru who helped with the website, who has helped with all the design stuff with the podcast, who helped me become a better host just because I had to start organizing and doing stuff because, you know, I kept it all in my head. But now I was like, oh, someone's here now. They need to know what they're doing. Oh. So that has been great. So you helped me with my organization skills and my leadership skills. So I really appreciate you for that.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Hey, so until next time, y'all, take care of yourselves physically, mentally, and financially. We catch y'all next time. Peace.